What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel and welcome to another quick, well, this video is actually probably not going to be very quick, but another quick guide on how to set up a farm to fight some stuff. I am going to be setting up a farm to fight. These things are called Mantis Stags. They're one of the tougher, or I guess the toughest enemy in the woodlands. I plan on using the Rocky Sparks for these guys. I've got another farm set up on the opposite side of the map, way over here, and I just kind of wanted to continue and branch it off from this little train system that we set up in the guide that I set up for trains and stuff like that. But anyway, this is going to be a little bit of a longer one because I wanted to go through pretty much the entire process just so you guys can see where my head's at when I'm setting stuff up. And yeah, so this is picking up from when we extended the train station over here as I used in an example in my little train guide. I've got it set up on a logic circuit here for a capacity sensor, so when it reaches 50% of the actual load in the carriage, it will then leave this stop and go and drop off at the other station, which it's currently over here, which I don't think it's actually going to move from this spot because this is full, so I might have to do something over there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I think I want to go ahead and kill these guys just so they don't get in our way, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm not really using the Rocky Sparks for a particular reason, mostly just because I already had the setup for fighting them, so I figured, why not? We'll just extend it. But you can easily use choppy sparks, and that might be easier for some setups, depending on how you want to run things. You cannot, I will repeat this, you cannot use stumpy sparks for this. You have to use something a little bit tougher. So, just something for you to keep in mind. Oh, and I just got the Carpenter achievement, Carpenter 2. Lovely. First off, let me see. Do I have enough to make a storage right now? I do have enough to make a shed. Okay, let's go ahead and do that real quick. I just want to plop that down just to kind of get some random stuff out of my inventory here. Alright, I don't think I'm going to need all this right now, so we'll just leave that there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First off, you got to figure out where your spawns are for your various creatures, and for that, you're going to need your animal scarer. Okay, so they are in this square right here. So we pretty much want to be throwing to around here. I don't think that'll be too hard to set up. I don't think that'll be too bad to set up. Next thing we got to do is we got to clear all this random crap out of the way. So let's get clearing. Shouldn't take too terribly long. Now, one thing you should make note of is where you've got trees and things like that that you do not want spawning. And I'll show you here in a second how to make it so that those things don't spawn anymore. Just continue clearing. Now, if you've got your camera located above where an enemy spawns, unless they're, I think, on like the very edge of your camera, they won't spawn. So, if you're right next to something, you should be okay as far as not having to deal with stuff spawning. So, that should give you plenty of opportunity to set up whatever farms or anything like that that you need to. It's not too bad. Okay, I think there was a tree here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Well, I did say I was going to show how to block them. Well, if you want to block spawns, you can just put down a dirt path right where that thing was, and it will no longer spawn. So, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So, first off, since we know where our enemies are spawning, which is this little corner off of this slope, you want to figure out where you're going to be throwing. So, I'm planning on using 3 throwers for this. Let's go for here. Yeah, here, here, and we'll throw another one here, so I'm going to need to move this sign. Okay, this can just go over here, I suppose. Alright. That should be... Actually, don't know if we'll be able to pull inventory from that, but we can try. Let's see if that'll work. Can I put a path here? No, I can't. Okay, that's not going to work then. That's fine. We'll move it. I guess I could put it, like, here. That would probably still be okay. I would prefer to have it, like, here, though, I think. So, yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for another one here. And I kind of like to have them lined up somewhat equivalently. We can move these around if we absolutely need to. Like, I could probably get away with moving this one over here slightly, just to move these ones over one more. You know what, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's get rid of these things. I like to use a timer on my throwers now. I don't know if it really matters, but I like to use one now. So, just something that I like to do now. So yeah, let's go with... oh, that's in the way. Shift it over just a smidge. Okay. So, from there, we need to make sure that these are constantly getting refilled. So let's go ahead and set up just our regular little loop that we do. There we go. Doesn't necessarily need to be a loop, but I don't know, I like the look of it. And then from there, we'll have them go in from this direction. We'll have an exit this way. So that way if they're empty, and they'll just come right along this way. Let's actually extend this path slightly. Okay, so the way this is going to set up... excuse me. The way this is going to set up is we're going to need... Let's go with an item filter this way. And then you're going to be set up for one of these on a reverse filter. Let's not throw our path away. I'm going to have to pick up all these one little bit at a time, aren't I? Made a mistake. Accidentally threw away the wrong thing. There we go. That's why I don't like to use this as a temporary item storage thing. Some people do. I do not, because I tend to make mistakes. Anyway, so that's going to be set up that way. This way is going to be set up with a if you are empty. So yeah, if you're empty, that will allow you to go through. We'll set up a one-way this way. I think that's going to work. Let's see real quick. Go. So if you're empty, you'll go that way, you'll pick something up, and then you'll walk in, drop off, and so on and so forth. Okay. You do not need to be in there anymore. Okay, so that's pretty good as far as a basic setup for picking up and doing all that's concerned. We could set up this item drop-off a little bit differently. I'm not going to worry about it right now, though. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it right now. That should be fine. Okay, we can throw some of these guys in here real quick. Just going to use these regular ones, and it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's grab a timer. Put that right there. Now, for the timer, You're going to send the signal for 8 seconds. And then you're going to wait for 10. There you go. That gives you the minimum amount of time to throw all 10 sparks, and then it'll be shut off for just enough time for the sparks to come back. So, I don't know, it's just a little bit neater. So, okay, that's good. Now then, we're going to need to set up our item filtration, which is not too bad. We could put that... we could put that over here, I guess. That's not a problem. So let's just send you guys out. I think we're going to need to sort through 4 items, potentially. Let's see, they drop 3. Of course, the guy on the motorcycle leaves the second I start recording something, so you guys are probably going to hear that in the background. Okay, but yeah, we're going to need item filtration for trees, leaves, the 3 items from the Mantis Stag, and possibly rocks? Can't remember if we took out any rocks over here, but anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. Let's have it just go right over here. So you're going to be an offshoot, you're going to be an offshoot, you're going to be an offshoot. Alright, so that's for 4 items. We could set surplus random things over this direction. We can set up our other filtration this way. Not a problem. Okay. I'm not too worried about how we're going to set up sending the actual characters back to do all this stuff. Not that. I need item filters. Okay. So, you're going to need... let's go with these. We'll grab some of these, some of these, some of these. Alright. Set that up. Set that up. And set that up. Lovely. Here. Destroy these trees. Ah, see. It's at the edge of my camera, so one of them spawned. Alright. We could extend this path down a little bit further. It really depends on how much excess storage you want. We'll go ahead and set up a few barrels. Nothing too crazy for the time being. Yeah, that's fine. We can swap those for other things as necessary. And this might be enough. Let's see, we've got our item drop-off. We can set up some of our other little things, like, you know, if you don't have an item, then you'll constantly loop back and forth. So that's, there you go. I think that will do it. So let's go ahead and get, we'll go with 10 here, and we'll go with 5 here. Okay. Now, as long as they're on this path, they shouldn't aggro. I think we'll be okay. Okay, the timer is active. They're going to start throwing. Going to start fighting. And bam! First kill. You love to see it. They'll drop off. Easy peasy. And that's everything all loaded up as far as the sparks are concerned, too. Very nice. Very nice. Now you could probably set it up so that if this item filter is set to, I guess less than 2, it would let them through. Normally I don't do those, but that would be if you needed to refill, I guess, but it's not, strictly speaking, necessary. But yeah, no, this is pretty much it. Quick and dirty. Good to go. And then the other thing you could do if you really wanted to would be to set up a recycling so that what they're doing right now doesn't happen. So we can go ahead and throw that down there, and then, yeah, I think that'll do it. Okay, they'll come back with their leaves and various other items, deposit those. I suppose if you really wanted to make it super efficient, you could put 2 of these down, just so that you don't have to do with what they just did, where they walked past because it was filled. So that should be fine. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's done now. It's a pretty quick little guide as far as setting that up is concerned. And then from here, you can take these resources and move them into other things. Like, I've got ancient bases over here, so if I wanted to, I could turn this into another, production facility as far as clumps are concerned. I could take those and break them down and move them into other things. But yeah, no, this is a real simple farm you can set up. Again, you can use almost any sparks for this. I just happen to be using stone sparks. I guess the biggest problem with this right now would just be to make sure that if you're doing it by train, like I am, that you have your quantities all set up the right way. I've got this set up in loading mode up here, so that way it's full when it leaves this station. The reason why I set it up for that is so this one gets 100. It comes all the way down here, it drops off 50, and then it drives all the way back over here and drops off the last 50. So, yeah. Not too bad. I don't know how many sparks you're going to be losing on average during this. Anywhere from like 1 to 2, maybe 3, if you're using the stone sparks. But, yeah. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Hopefully this helps you guys out. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Real easy setup. Now, while I've got you here, for anybody that's still watching, right now I think episode 15 is going live today in a few hours. That means that there's only 6 episodes left before we catch up. So I think I've got episodes scheduled all the way until, I think, the 16th. So I'm going to probably start recording episodes here again in the next day or so, just to, keep it going. I know a lot of people in the comments have been saying, oh, I'm on, like, tier 10 in tech and all that stuff, and I'm not there yet, because I've had to slow down playing, unfortunately. Just as a for instance of where I'm at, I am still technically in tier 5, getting on to tier 6, which, yeah. So I'm pretty far behind as far as what content is concerned. I am still working on the logic video. I don't have examples for all of the logic gates and stuff like that, and that's the thing. That's my sticking point right now. I want to come up with some useful examples to present before I get started on actually putting that guide video out, but I don't know when that's going to be. But either way, if you guys liked this video, make sure you hit the like button. Leave a comment down below if you want any suggestions, or if you have any questions, if you have any tips that you want to leave in the comments. If there's anything you'd like to see me attempt to do as far as builds or guides or something like that, then let me know. Yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. You all take care. Bye-bye.